This video is sponsored by Loot Drop Labs and their Hero Stack storage solution. More on them later. Welcome to another offline Unmatched video. Today, I'll be playing as the Ancient Leshen, a 13 HP ranged fighter from the Steel and Silver Witcher set who really likes hitting twice per turn. We're playing against Ezir on Eredin, another new fighter from the Realms Fall Witcher set who sort of functions as a combination of Achilles and Sun Wukong. To start things off, Ezir takes a double maneuver, placing his fighters into position with one rider in maneuver distance away. Initial power rankings had Eredin strongly into A tier and Leshen into the lower tiers, sometimes even C tier. But after intensive experimentation from some competitive players, they found that Leshen can be very powerful if played in a specific way. For my turn, I do a double maneuver and surround Leshen with the wolves. Ezir boosts with an unyielding hordes, although this was a bit unnecessary looking at it now. He surrounds one wolf and attacks. Anticipating a wild hunt wiping out both wolves, I defended with a wily fighting which would defeat both red riders before the wild hunt effect activates. However, he attacks with an unyielding hordes, effectively wasting a wily fighting or even helping him out. I take a maneuver and send a wolf after a red rider, not wanting to overdraw and discard this early on. He takes the attack, and I attack with a Command the Forest, making him discard a portal defense because I won the combat. However, this also means he only has one red rider left before being enraged. Ezir takes a maneuver, sending his red rider to attack my wolf. I don't defend and take a foul purpose. Since Leshen has no feints anyway, there was no way for me to stop the last red rider from being defeated. So now, Eredin is enraged. I take a maneuver and send off my wolf to attack him again. I was planning on using Disturbing Howls to bait out the defense and send Eredin off center. However, he defends with a feint preventing that. He retaliates, attacking with a backhand into my wolf and discarding my Vanish into Murder, one of Leshen's strongest cards. Then, for my turn, I just do a double maneuver to get back some cards back into my hand. Ezir immediately attacks with a foul purpose, which he can now use from any space since he is enraged. I defend with a Primeval Guardian, which discards the top card from Eredin's deck and adding it the boost value to his attack. I discard Close for the Kill, which is the worst possible card for me to discard, meaning that Eredin is now attacking for an 8 value attack from across the board. Things are looking a bit dire for me, as Eredin was enraged very early on and is getting a lot of value from his enraged effects. However, my deck size is a bit bigger than his, and I still have multiple passes to stretch things out to fatigue. I play Strength of the Pack, summoning a wolf. I also get the ongoing effect which says, I recover a health every turn so long as I have a wolf in my zone. This card is Leshen's most defining card, and makes him one of the strongest fighters in a neutral state where nothing is happening. Ezir recognizes this and boosts in with a Brutal Strike, which is effectively a blank tree since Leshen has no immediate effects. He attacks with a 5 value Skirmish, boosted with an Implacable. So, for the second time this game, Eredin is attacking me for 8. This brings me a bit closer to death, but also means he has one less Implacable to attack with, so it works out. I double maneuver and boost to get out of a simple maneuver range from Eredin. Eredin takes a second to decide what to boost with if he wants to go in and attack. After 2 Primeval Guardians, my deck size is a bit healthier than his, meaning that he has to go in. Eredin boosts in with an Icy Guile and uses a Might of the Ain-Il. This mostly functions as a draw card in the matchup since Leshen doesn't have too many ping effects, mainly just the Scheme and wily fighting. Ezir attacks with the Wild Hunt, boosted with another Might of the Ain-Il, and although this only goes up to a 5 value attack, he still damages me 2 from Wild Hunt's effect. Looking at it now, I see that since I moved the wolf next to Eredin, the wolf also should have died, which is definitely a misplay that we both didn't catch at the moment. For what it's worth, I could have just not moved the wolf and it would have been the same. For my first action, I attack with a Primeval Slam, bringing back another wolf and dealing 3 through portal defense. I attack again, this time with a Command the Forest, dealing 2 over a 5 value skirmish and making Eredin discard an Icy Guile. Eredin hits back with a backhand, which I defend with a planted feet and discarding a Wily Fighting. Then, he maneuvers away to prevent another double attack but still be in maneuver range. I block his path with a single wolf to force him to boost into attack Leshen, but he decides to just take his time for now. I reposition and wall off myself with the wolves. Eredin uses a close for the kill scheme to draw 2 cards and go in. Attacking the wolves with a Wild Hunt. I defend with a 6 value Harrying Strike, but the wolves die anyway from the ping damage. For my first action, I use a Vanish into Murder, which means I end my turn immediately. This also discards my ongoing scheme, which would have been discarded anyway since I had no more wolf in the board. Ezir goes near the center, but I find the spot farthest from him, forcing at least a 2 boost. He boosts with the Wild Hunt, which is suboptimal for him at this point, but necessary since our decks have a massive gap in card count, meaning that he has to go in. He attacks with an Implacable into a Planted Feet, which he boosts into an 8 value attack for the 3rd time this game. I maneuver and scheme with the Strength of the Pack, placing the wolf a bit farther away so Eredin is discouraged from killing it. He ignores the wolf and maneuver attacks with a 7 value Implacable into another Planted Feet. I was very lucky this game to always have a defense on hand whenever he attacked. At this point, as you can see, his deck has run out, and the game is at this point difficult for Eredin to win. I attack with the Primeval Slam and get pushed off with a skirmish to a different zone to prevent a double attack, although I would have liked to see what would have happened if Ezir pushed me closer to the blue zone so I couldn't wall up. He attacks with a Foul Purpose which deals 1 over a Wily Fighting, which I then heal back. I heal 1 HP from my ongoing scheme, going up from 2 to 3. If Eredin had somehow snuck in 2 more damage at some point in the game, I could have been dead already at this point. However, the game is basically in the bag. With no way for Eredin to go through my wolves, I maneuver and attack with a Flock of Birds to deal 5 and reposition, at which point Eredin double maneuvers and dies to fatigue. This was both our first time playing this matchup, although I've played with and against these fighters a bit frequently already. Eredin's rushdown power is incredible, but Leshen's fatigue play forcing initiative on the opponent is especially potent against melee bruiser fighters like Bigfoot or even Eredin. Has this ever happened to you? You're trying to stuff your unmatched fighter in your pocket, but the pocket is just too small and stuff keeps falling off because it wasn't supposed to be used for something like this. Or did you try and use other storage solutions like Ziploc bags or trash bags? Be careful what you might find inside. There has to be something else. There has to be a better way. Introducing Hero Stack from Loot Drop Labs, a storage solution custom made for your Unmatched experience. Each Hero Stack box comes with a sleeve for you to customize with. Just take out the accompanying card and put in whatever you want to use. Then when you're done, just put it back like this and you're good to go. Hero stacks can come in many different configurations, such as the Nomad, which is just the boxes themselves, the Phalanx for storing 9 boxes in a cool way, the Armada for storing 15 boxes like so, and the Legion for storing 18 boxes for people who want max capacity. The Armada and the Legion come with a bit of lid lift but are perfectly stable as is. But wait, you might ask, I haven't explained how any of this works. Don't worry, and here we go. When working with the Phalanx and Legion configurations, individual fighters can be grabbed by pinching on the ends of the boxes. Once you have your fighter, slide off the cover and press down on the hole in the divider to push out your character. Then, remove the divider and take out your hero miniature, sidekicks, and health dials. You could also just let them drop on the table if you'd like. Once you're ready for some Unmatched, play proceeds as you usually would. Then, when you're done, just return your components in the same way you took them out. If you're asking for my opinion, I think the Phalanx is the best way to use the hero stack boxes. I generally dislike lid lifts in my storage solutions, and the Phalanx lets you store up to 2 maps without bulking up your carrying case. And generally, 9 fighters and up to 4 maps is probably enough for an unmatched play session. Before you go, Loot Drop Labs has provided free fighter stickers for you to use with your hero stack boxes. They've even released the Witcher fighters, as well as the TMNT sets coming soon.